Now we get to something that is extremely interesting, relatively new, and that is, do opinion testimonials require a typicality disclosure, which is a type of substantiation? And the answer is yes, for opinions with a typicality message. And specifically, you see in the second bullet there, the term that the FTC uses in its 2023 guides is quoted there, atypical opinions, or in other words, opinions which are not typical. And so as of 2023, last year, the FTC now is regulating in terms of guidelines, not a rule. The final rule does not apply, but the guidelines do, again, beginning in 2023, regulating atypical opinions. So what in the world is an atypical opinion? Because this is new material. Well, first of all, there's an example in the 2023 guides, which I think is an easy answer to the question, what is an atypical question? And you see in the particular example, example 7, there are 3 guys leaving a movie, and they are sharing their opinions about the movie. And so these are direct quotes by the FTC in the guides. It's clearly understood that these are subjective opinions and are not atypical opinions. And you see the second quote there, not likely to convey a typicality message. So this is a very, I think, easy example to understand and to apply regarding the FTC's concern about atypical opinions. But here is another example, and this one is left by the FTC without an answer. And it, of course, targets atypical opinions in a much more difficult factual situation to interpret. And the guides actually have this example regarding home fitness equipment. And here is the exact text of the opinion testimonial. Quote, you see it in the arrow there, the most effective and easy to use home machine, the exercise machine that I've ever tried. So the FTC says, and I quote, that a typicality disclosure for this particular opinion testimonial would be required if the testimonial is misleading regarding the machine's effectiveness or ease of use. If it is misleading regarding effectiveness or ease of use, without making a determination either way. So we're left to wonder whether this particular opinion testimonial is misleading. So let's read it again and see what it might be. The most effective and easy to use home exercise machine that I've ever tried. So could it be misleading? I suppose it might be misleading to a beginner who has never used any home exercise equipment, particularly if the testimonialist has tried a number of home exercise machines, may be very comfortable with any exercise machine by going to the nearest gym. So assuming that we're looking at it from the perspective of a beginner, it's possible that it could be deceptive, meaning that it could influence the beginner to think that the experience of a much more experienced person who's tried other machines wouldn't be applicable to the beginner. Now, I don't know if that's the final answer or not, but that is the beginning of the thought process that you need to go through now regarding atypical opinions and how they are interpreted. So one possible solution is to qualify this particular example. And one way to do it would be something like this. I've tried a number of home exercise machines, and I can say clearly that this one is the easiest one that I've ever tried. So that's a qualification, and the qualification may actually result in the atypical opinion not being atypical anymore because it's qualified. So the term qualified atypical opinion may be an oxymoron because, again, if the opinion is qualified at beginning, if the atypical opinion is qualified, it may no longer be atypical. Clearly food for thought, clearly for something that you need to take into consideration if you're using atypical opinions.